Good day, gentlemen and ladies. Today we are the 7th of May. It's pretty cold outside. It's just barely 1 degree Celsius. And as you can see in the back, the dogs are doing fine. Um, and I have a lot of weekend chores to do. And you're going to see that. I'm going to clean my winter rims. I'm going to undercoat my oil coated before the summer my Toyota, my car, and I'm gonna try to put that on videos. And yeah, so let's go at it. All right, before I start doing my chore, I'm just gonna show you. Then hey, the spring has definitely landed. I have no more snow on the land, even in the back between my neighbor's shed and my garage. What I've done last weekend, is I advanced my RV. So this is gonna be the summer park for the Joe Snowplow, and I put it on concrete block. But what I've done this year is I forward the RV and I put everything on concrete block. So the wheels, as you can see. All right, so I put also the front part of the RV and on jack, so that way all the RV is higher, so the air circulation is better, improved under the RV itself. Now for the front yard is I clean, I swept. It was very easy to do. I still have some spot in the middle to do, but that I will do it later on during the week, during my working days. At the evening, it's nice to vent off sometime. So now what I'm going to attend is, let's go in the garage. The dog is all sniffing. Good day, gentlemen and ladies. So I set up my cleaning tower, cleaning derusting station. Last weekend I've done the oil change and the tire change on my car. I've got many videos about that. I'm gonna put that on my video description, especially with my new tool to remove the carter for the basically the protecting cover for the oil filter. It's really worth it. um, Now what I'm going to do is, last fall they had my rims had some rust on it, and what I decided to do, I decided to put a coat of grease, and it really helped. It's completely stopped the rust basically for all winter. And what I'm going to do with the proper brush, I could use like a normal grinder disc, but I will go with a softer, just to remove the surface rust. I basically have only two rims to do. The other two are great, but I'm gonna end up painting all of them. So the first step is just to remove the rust. So make sure you have the safety glass, good air protection, and the dogs away from not having spark. So remove the rust with a soft grinder. Then I'm gonna wash them to remove all the grease and oil with lukewarm water or degreaser, and then I'm going to paint them and it's gonna be drying all summer. The paint will have plenty of time to dry on the rims. So let's go at it. All right. All right, so I just do two tire rims. The rest you don't need to see it. Basically, make sure you have a good protection, high protection, good ear. And what I forget to tell you, I'm gonna clean the inside of the rim. There was no rust there, but just plenty of salt and sand. So I'm gonna brush them, and then I'm gonna wash them off with a proper soap. All right. So I'm gonna finish that. See you later. Stick around. So I used degreaser, but it was still not clean enough. So I'm gonna put some palm olive. It was on special at the grocery store, so it's a great degreaser. So I'm gonna do some elbow grease. All right. So see you later. Cheers. So I just finished to wash the tire with that soap. It worked very well. So I'm gonna let them. I rinsed it very well. As you can see, there's a lot of soap on the ground. The only the main reason why I washed it there is last summer I had some earwigs there starting to show up. So with that water and soap, I think it won't survive that soapy soapy water. All right. So tomorrow will be the paint day, so I will let them dry. So let's start another project. It's 3 o'clock. It's still 7th of May. I have other things to do, so time for tractor therapy. Good day, gentlemen and ladies. So before I talk about my undercoating my car, and the right name is rustproofing my car, is safety. First of all, your personal safety. So make sure when you do underproofing your car against rust, or when you're doing it, make sure you have the proper safety equipment. Just reminder that oil, it's not good for you on your lungs, for your eyes and skin. So wear the proper safety equipment. So I have a proper safety glasses, respiratory protection, and proper clothing, and cover all your skin when you do rust proofing. These other safety aspect that you have to, not may, must, you will make sure pay attention where you spraying the oil, the grease, or the mix of them. Like for me, spraying, it's only oil to cut the corrosion effect of the salt, and in fall I put a mix of oil and grease, so the oil will penetrate furthermore, like in spraying, to remove the salt, and also the grease will protect it. The oil and grease together, it keep the oil not going to dry. So not the grease not going to dry, because grease have a tendency to dry out, and then the water start to accumulate between the grease and the steel. So a mix of oil and grease, it's the perfect world. So the oil I'm using, you can use any type of oil, but don't use motor oil. Motor oil have soap, so you can use SE 30 oil. You can use hydraulic oil, no problem. Like I've been doing it so many years. But that's what I do. Spring I use oil to remove the salt, and the oil will penetrate during the summer to remove the salt, and it's kind of protection. And during the fall, you use oil, a mix of oil and grease, so the grease doesn't dry out because the oil is there. Now the safety aspect is don't shoot on your brakes, on electronics, on anything with the oil or the grease may disagrade. So please read your car manual and ask questions. But usually for me, I spray everything made of steel. If they have like all the line for the brakes on the Toyota or in steel, sometimes it's rubber, like any type of material. So just pay attention on that. So that's two safety aspects: your health, and don't spray on your brakes. If you have drum brakes, it's covered, but most of the car now are all disc brakes, so it's not a good idea to shoot on the disc. you may have some problem. You will have to clean your disc after. It did happen to me once. I was by mistakenly shoot directly on the disc. So what I did, I use a brake cleaner, and I clean on both sides. And it was double disc, ventilated disc, and I shot in the middle, so I was good. All right. So before doing that, please pay attention on those two safety aspects. Enough said. Now, what I use is I bought this. What was the name? Gun, rust gun, air gun. Basically, you put the oil in there, you put the air hose in there, and then it sprays. And I've been, like you see, it's not a brand new box. It's all dirty, kind of clean. And what I have, you can shoot directly like this. That's how I do most of my shooting. But on the end there, you can connect various type of attachment. Like you just put the, like so. And like here is when I shoot under the car with small holes. So I just, it's easier. It's a better control than, so this, I'm just gonna move the other. So I just push like this. And there's some pressure in there. So I just like a very delicate places. See, they have some pressure in there. All right, so that's how I do it. And oh yes, inside the doors too, I remove the caps. And I did drill my own car. This cap, plastic cap, you can buy at the auto part store, and you just put it back. And I just put like that, and trust me, inside the door, I basically like, I put a lot on them. All right. Now, this one, most of them, I don't like it. It's on angle. It's awkward. Also, the tube is very stiff. It's not because it's cold in the garage. The garage right now it's warm, but yeah, that's the thing. So this is the gun I bought. I don't remember the price. I think it was $65, but I'm pretty sure you can find out. There's quality. This one is it's a Pro Tech. It's made in Taiwan, but I just got. Yeah, it was pressurized. Holy smoke! So that means the seal was good, because that was from last fall when I did it. So basically, you make sure that there's a good seal in there, and like you witnessed, it was sealed. And yes, I still have some oil and grease in there. So yeah, there's many of them. That's the one I like the most, because the tube is big. It doesn't clog down when I do mix oil and grease. Oh, by the way, when I do oil and grease, I warm the oil and grease in the pan with the burner. I'm going to make another video this fall. All right. So I'm gonna set up the car, put it inside the garage. Be aware of the fumes also. So make sure the dogs are away, the children are away. Make sure you have a breathing. I'm gonna get suited for that. All right. Cheers. As you can see, this is my compressor, my shop compressor that I've been having since 10 years now. And well, matter of fact, 11 years now, because I bought it the same year that I bought that I have Scotty and Ruby. Every 2 years I do the oil change on the compressor also, and after the end of the day, no, at the beginning of the day, I empty the water inside my tank. And at the end of the day too, so I always keep my tank dry. So obviously you need to have a good compressor to have enough volume of air for using the type of air gun that you're using, right? So yes, that compressor has been following me since the last 4 move. Now, shooting around the engine compartment, basically, I shoot all around on the outside, everything holding the front radiator, all around, not the battery itself, but under the battery, the bracket in front, like here, and also shoot under all the suspension, not only the top of the suspension, not the rubber itself in the middle, but all the steel holding the top compressor, and all in the back. Here's a portion is the floor wall. You don't want to shoot there because obviously because of the exhaust of the engine, the heat. You don't want to shoot there. But I shoot various parts. Also, where the lower bracket of the radiator and the engine mount, not the engine mount itself, but all around. All right. It's basically everything still may corrode. So in this area here, I've got nothing to shoot except perhaps something inside in there for the clutch, because mine is a manual car, so all the clutch mechanism, but that I use clear oil for that. All right, so that is the engine, and I shoot that. Like you see, there's no corrosion. It's dirty, yes, it's grease. It's good for the engine. It's don't pressure wash. I never pressure wash my engine. I keep it oily, greasy, so there's no humidity on the electrical contact. Like this is the computer of the car. You want to put pressure water towards all these fine connection. You're asking yourself question like you get yourself in trouble. So yeah, everything is good. Like I keep clean my fluid level. My coolant engine, also for the washing washer and the oil level thing, this I keep it clean, but I just use a rag. All right, so I think I just got enough talking. I'm just gonna spray a little bit. Are you going to see that? And that's it. This video I completely forgot to say at the beginning. It was an answer from Chad from Purple Color Life with his wife. It was one of the videos. He said, Dave, can you show us how you do it? So this video is for the answer of your question, Chad. All right, cheers. All right, so I got my safety glass. I got a hat to protect my skin and a good breather, and I try to cover as much skin as I can. All right. So I'm just going to do some adjustment around. And just for your demo, like I put some like this. And all the holes you can see here, and also the hood here, and I just put a little bit, but my hood is way too much undercoated, so I ain't gonna put there. So you can see the fume a little bit, so you have to, that's why you have to use a breather. So for now I put some oil, some spot, and the oil during the summer was sprayed and will, but again, this has been shooted since, I have that car since 5 years now, 5 years and a half. So twice a year, that's been 11 times now. All right, so I'm gonna jack up the car. I just realized, and it's gonna be tough for me to show you under the car, but basically where you want to shoot, so anything structural like the suspension tab, like the thing we move with the wheels, that's why you have to be careful. So there's a suspension tab from the wheel inside, that's where you want to shoot. There's also all the floor, all the under the floor, and also inside of the wheel well, where the core spring is, all the bolts and nuts, that's where you want to shoot. I think that will be better for you. Then it's gonna be tough for me to show you an answer. In the back, you shoot, if you have a steel gas tank, yes, shoot under it, also on the top. Also, everywhere where you have exposed steel, basically. There's a bumper under that. That's why I shoot also. This it's all plastic, but there's a portion that is made of steel. That's where you shoot everything. So any exposed steel, that's where you shoot. And yes, I hope that answered your question. Please, on the comments, leave me a comment. I will answer your question. And but basically, think about breather, good safety glass cover thing, personal safety, and the car safety. Don't shoot directly on your brake or anything electronics, or the oil we may make it going bad or disagree. All right. I hope that helped you. All right. So. I think that will be it for my video. I've got other chores to do. Usually those type of video are not quite popular, but my main goal is to show you that yes, and you know, the oil, maybe you're gonna spend about $10 to $15 of oil. Yeah, $65 for the gun, and if you have a compressor and everything, but after 2-3 years, it's already paid off all the equipment and the oil, because here they charge between a good job, it's between 65 to up to sky is the limit. If you go with beeswax, this is the best one, by the way. Beeswax. I had a car in 1990s. It was a Volkswagen. They were shooting with beeswax. It was $300. And trust me, beeswax is the best for me, but it's so expensive. All right, gentlemen and ladies, I just finished it. It's been, it took me about roughly a good 15 minutes to shoot everywhere that I told you, like under the car, the suspension, on the wheel wells, in the back and everything. One thing I forgot to mention, the third safety aspect, because there's health, the car, the third one. Make sure you do shoot where you can recuperate the oil that you left on the ground. I mean, it's tough to see, but I have about perhaps maybe a cup of oil on the ground. Well, you need to find a way to recuperate that oil, because if you have a water well, or even in a city like here, you don't want to pollute the surface water or the water under that. The water, I forget the word, sorry about that. But yes, so make sure that you find a way. So when I was in Cheford, I had a water well. So I had a plastic tarp under, and that plastic tarp was catching up all the oil left over or dripping from my car. So that was another reason why I put grease. The grease will keep it, but in the springtime I just go light coat, and I drop about a cup of oil, and it's on the concrete floor, so I'm gonna swipe it out. So please do take care of that aspect about oil pollution dropping on the ground. So make sure you have, make sure health, safety car, the car safety, and of course the oil dropping on the ground, so you don't want to pollute the area where you're living, and you don't want to pollute the the groundwater. All right, so thank you very much. Cheers. Good day, gentlemen and ladies. We're still May 7 and still doing my chores. You see that car outside? Well, after the oil undercoating, I went to do my groceries, and it was not a good idea to put oil on the exhaust system, because I was smoking in the parking lot there. All right, someone, I will put his name, I don't remember it. Yeah, he told me that, hey Dave, you should put a plastic butter cover. I don't know what it is in English, sorry. Becel. Jeez. Well, you know, it's margarine, and you just put over the PTO shaft like so. I just have to put it very well. Just hold on. All right. So there you go. It does fit very well, and so I'm just gonna put a rag over it just to keep it like this. All right. So thank you kindly for the nice advice. Cheers. All right. So what will be the tractor therapy? You know where? Look at the Ruby where it is. There's two row of where used to be my block that I use for my RV. So I'm gonna take the dirt down there and fill it up on each side of the to fill up, and then later on I'm gonna put some seed for the grass. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so let's do that. Eh, yes, doggy dog. Yes, they're tired. Ah, la, la, la. So as you just witnessed, I just have to just pass the grate over it, and that will be on done. I just have to put the seed it, not this week because it's still too cold, but definitely by the next 2 weeks for sure. So right now it's almost 4 o'clock. So Like I did walk with my dog this morning at 5 o'clock. Now I'm gonna walk with them. It's basically every 12 hours. Good day, gentlemen and ladies. Happy Mother's Day, because today we're Sunday, the 8th of May. It's very nice and sunny. I closed the garage door because they have a Mother's Day party on my neighbor gate, and that's good. Now, just to close the gap about my tires, I clean everything. Now I'm gonna paint the inside rim first, and then I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna put the outside, finish by the outside rim, and let it dry the first week here, and then I'm gonna store them. All right, folks. So I'm gonna paint the inside of the tire, and then I'm gonna flip it on the other side. So time for good music. Cheers. All right, gentlemen and ladies. So you just witnessed how I paintbrush my tire rims inside and out. I'm gonna put a second coat on the outside because the inside had no rust at all. This is the 5th winter that I have these steel rims. These are my winter steel rims, and this is the second set of winter tire that they have, because I used to punch out roughly on winter easily around 24,000 kilometers. I was punching 40,000 per year, so it was a lot of kilometers. Now I'm barely making 8,000, so so that is good. So the reason why you want to take care of your rims, first of all, because they're expensive. The second thing too is to preserve them, and rust, especially in this environment, is very bad. But yeah, that's why you take care of your stuff. All right, on that, because there's a lot of vapor here, paint vapor. This will be the end of my video. And again, for those ladies with the mothers, happy Mother's Day. For the one who deserved it. Now, for the other one, do your job. All right, cheers.